It always takes just a minute for it to pop up and then for everybody to join. So, hi, hello, happy Friday. I am so excited and also a little bit terrified because the one and only Mr. X, Darrell Snediger, and I really hope that I said your name correctly, is right about to join me. Darrell, I see your request. Hey, girl, thanks for being here. I am accepting it right now. Let's see. Oh, shoot. Hold on. I'm so sorry. It disappeared. There it is. Okay. And I hope that it accepts. Okay, good.
Hello,
Hi, how are you?
doing well. Let me get my
Yes,
little
it
setup.
it takes a minute for you to pop up and then it cuts off everybody's heads.
How does this look? Am I
Perfect.
cut off?
You're if you lean back, you're perfect like that. So I'm just going to
Okay,
actually
cool.
move. Sorry, one second. I'm just going to move this back just a tad. It doesn't cut off the top of my head. Okay. I'm just gonna do this, so this will work. Oh my goodness. Mr. X is here. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
You're doing okay, great. I'm doing well. I just actually rewatched every single one of your scenes in the show, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is terrifying." And we've got so much to talk about. But I listened to your Passion Pod episode yesterday, and you did that before anything came out, really. So now that it's all out, how do you feel about the show? How do you feel about your performance? How does it feel?
It feels really incredible. Yeah, it's just I'm still blown away by the response. I'm still blown away by the fans and just the outpouring of people giving me, flowers for the work. It feels really amazing, and it feels really special to have that kind of response.
I love that. And I was looking at a bunch of comments, and what I found fascinating is that so many people are like, he is nothing like his character. He is the complete opposite of his character. So people are expecting you. I mean, you sold it. You sold Mr. X because people are expecting you to be Mr. X. How does that feel?
Um, it's interesting. I mean, that's kind of like the core of what acting is, just bringing out parts of yourself that you don't live from in your day to
Yeah.
day. So,
Yeah.
yeah, the parts of me that are Mr. X, I feel like, I've got seen that question and gotten that question, like what's your process and how do you transform and how do you get into that
Sure.
feeling? And um, it's really like for me, Mr. X isn't, and this goes for like really all villains. They're not really these horrible, terrible people in their minds, in their worlds.
Yeah.
They are justified in whatever they're doing, and they have a purpose, and that purpose isn't like just to be evil. It's coming from a place of whatever their justification is.
Yeah.
Um, so coming to it from that perspective and knowing that what I'm doing is just my own purpose, it makes it easier to be evil or to have fun in that way.
And well, you nailed it. And you give off this. It's almost like you can't really look away at you when you're on screen, and as you're standing at the podium, you're talking to the other lessers, and you just have this. I don't know what it is. You want to look away because you're so creeped out, but you can't look away. And then you give that smile. You give Mr. X's smile, which
hmm
okay. So when you thought of Mr. X's or just Mr. X in general, what did you picture, and how did you picture him in your mind, and how did you want to play him? Besides how it says in the book, but for you, how did you want to play him?
Yeah. For me, I wanted to, as much as I could, give the sense of his humanity that it was still underneath, that was still there, that regardless of the years and years and years of being a lesser, um, there's still that need of like wanting some type of connection. So
Mm,
like all the stuff with Billy
Yeah.
and like wanting that connection with another human being, seeing this other this version of me, like a younger version of me that I could possibly like mold into like a better version of me. And yeah, and all those scenes where I'm like doing that creepy stuff. I don't know. It's just it feels in those moments I was just enjoying the fact of like knowing how I look and
Yes.
and playing across from Billy. Um and there was multiple times Billy would look at me and be like, "Oh my God, you are so creepy looking right now." And it's like I loved it
Yeah.
because being able knowing how I look and just being able to like look at him and know my effect on him,
Yeah.
it fueled this like this mischievous part of me that just wanted to like creep him out and
Yeah.
like and seduce him or whatever. Like it just made
Yes.
me, yeah,
That's basically because he was your prey, and
yeah,
you were opening him up to this world of like, oh, you're going through all these things. Let me show you. I know
hmm
I've got something better for you. And so every time the two of you are on screen, which you guys are fascinating together, you and RJ as oh my gosh, Billy Riddle creeped me out. Between you two,
yeah,
honest, I'm like, how? But every single person that I've talked to and every single person that's ever commented is like, they are the nicest like amazing people off screen and then they turn into these like well a little bit of a monster so to speak, but I
yeah.
find that so fascinating. So when you went to the premiere and you saw everybody again for the first time and you saw episode 1, what was it like seeing it with all the fans, with the cast, and seeing it for the first time?
Yeah, it was pretty surreal, I have
Yeah.
to say. It it was incredible. It was you know, you get the comments and you feel the response on social media, but to see it in person and to hear the whoops and the yells and the
Yeah.
screams
Yeah.
and to see all this, this collected, not admiration, but this like interest and this feeling of people loving this story
Yeah.
was really beautiful. It was really, really cool to be a part of. And I really felt so lucky and grateful to be a part of it. And yeah, it was definitely an amazing experience to watch myself and the rest of the cast and just the whole episode on that big screen and to hear people's responses and to hear the laughs in some places and just to feel it being experienced by a group of people at one time was truly incredible. Yeah, I don't think I can ever
Yeah.
like compare it to anything.
Yeah. The fandom is a very, very passionate fandom. I love being part of this fandom because of the excitement, the positivity, the joy, because you guys truly did something very special and unique by bringing this very beloved series to life and with the details and with such care and love, and the
Mhm.
fans just love you. They love the show so much, and you guys really have done something incredibly special. And I really just want to thank you on behalf of all the fans, since I get to talk to you today, for doing that, because it is a unique thing. We have so many books to movies and TV shows that happen, but this is very unique and special, especially because you guys are so great with communicating with fans in the comments and posting and sharing and all of that. That's been really, really cool to see as well.
Yeah, like I said, like just the fact that there is such a incredible fan base for this book, it just
Yeah,
seems like um it would be such a waste not to be able to connect to these people and connect to everyone who loves this story and this world so much. And I feel honored and to be a part of it. And it really is yeah, it's a real privilege to be able to do that.
I love that. And so we have a whole bunch of comments for you. There's gonna be comments and questions. This is what I love about Instagram Live. So Sousa Mania says you nailed Mr. X, gave me chills. Thank you. You made him perfectly creepy. I love
Yep.
I love that. So when you auditioned for Mr. X, was there what scene? Do you remember what scene it was, or yeah, was it several scenes, or how did that process go?
Yeah, it was a couple scenes. The first was the that speech to the group of Lessers in the first episode. Um, just kind of like laying out the land of the the Black Dagger Brotherhood and their part in this world and what we
Yeah.
needed to do and stuff. And then the other scene was a scene with Billy in front of his house where I'm kind of
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
seeing how like his relationship with his dad is and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So yeah, it was so funny because like I auditioned for it and my agent was like, "Oh yeah, they're kind of talking about like um they like you, but they don't know yet. They don't know yet." And then I just got the call and it was like, "Oh yeah, they want to book you for this." And then I just quickly had to get into stunt rehearsals for that fight scene at the end and
Yeah.
then had to get my hair dyed right away
Yes.
and all that stuff. So once I got the call, it was a pretty quick turnaround in terms of getting me into character.
And did you have to train in karate and martial arts and do all of that, or do you have martial arts background?
I actually don't, but we had an incredible stunt coordinator, Chris Brewster, and him and his team, they had us go to like they have like a whole stunt gym, and so we went there and did rehearsals multiple times and just went through the choreography and went through the scene and yeah, they just made it really easy and I'm fortunate to be like a more athletic person, so I was
Yeah,
able to take to it pretty easily. And yeah, I just that was probably one of the most fun parts about the shoot. The whole thing was like that fight scene was so
the
much fun.
fights. Yes, and it
Yeah.
was so good. And oh my gosh. I was just rewatching it because like I said, I was rewatching and I was like, gosh, this scene is so good. And just like you guys standing there, like, Mr. R, get ready. And then
Hmm.
the barn door explodes. And that scene was so fantastic. And I would love to get into that scene. But I would love to know what was it like for you to see yourself as Mr. X for the first time? You got your hair dyed, your eyebrows. I mean, I think you have powder because you're a little bit more paler than
Yeah.
normal. So
Yeah.
what was it like looking in the mirror and seeing yourself as Mr. X?
It's hard to explain.
Yeah,
It feels like you're looking at an image that's not you. It's interesting. It's like a little bit of cognitive dissonance where, you're looking at this image of yourself that you know is you, but just looks so much different.
yeah,
And but it does that whole transformation does make like stepping into character and slipping into this different energy just so much easier and makes
yeah,
it
I'm
so
sure.
much yeah, it makes it so much real. Like it makes it the whole process real and really aids in all of that.
Yeah. There's a question from Nikki, and she asked, how is the makeup process becoming Mr. X?
It wasn't too bad. Yeah, Indigo, our head makeup artist, she was incredible. She
She's
was so good.
fabulous.
Yeah, yeah, and so she's a professional, and she could get her job done very efficiently, and so that part of it wasn't too bad to get into, but the multiple hair dyes over the months that was probably like the most rigorous part, I
I'm
would
sure.
say.
How
Yeah.
often did you have to do it?
I had to do it three times total
Okay.
over the span, and yeah, the it did take a toll on my hair for sure. So I ended up just shaving my head afterwards. But
Hey, at least you
yeah,
can do that. If
yeah,
we definitely
I
cannot
know.
do that. We
Yeah,
we can't do that. So
yeah.
what was it powder? Like how did you what was the process of your skin?
It was just very
Just
like
makeup?
pale makeup. Yeah, yeah. It was just makeup. Yeah, I mean, she definitely had some like white whiter foundation in there, but it was just all makeup. Yeah.
Okay. There was another comment. Respectfully, there were moments Daryl made my skin crawl. Great job. Respectfully, I like that.
Yeah.
So I know that the barn scene happened pretty quickly. So you got right into it with the fight scene and that kind of got out of the way. So what was it like filming that barn scene? Because there's a lot going on. There's dogs, there's fighting, you're working with Robert, you're working with Olivia, you've got Billy Riddle there. Like what was it like on set that day? Well, how many days actually did it take to film the barn scene?
That took I think at least 6 days to fully get, at least that I was a part of, and I think it even took more to like get the pieces with the dogs and everything else. But for
Wow.
me, yeah, that was like a 6 day process, and it was, you film it piece by piece as it
Yeah.
goes, and
Yeah.
so it's not like you're trying to like get through the whole thing at once. But yeah, it was such a cool experience because you would do this one piece that you'd been rehearsing for forever, and it being this choreographed thing, you're always trying to make it as perfect as you can. But
Sure.
there would be, moments, oh, I missed that, or I didn't like get that headbutt as far as I could, or like the camera or that punch didn't look like great on angle. So like, yeah, it was really fun to like feel all that out
Yeah.
and just see that process up close, because I've only done like a small amount of choreographed fight scenes like that. So it felt really cool to be a part of, and I really enjoyed it because yeah, merging that athleticism and acting together was just like, this is a dream. Um,
Yeah. So when that's all that is going on, is there like fight music going on in the background to like amp everybody up, or is it just like you're zoned in, like action,
yeah,
let's go?
you just got to get in it. I mean, that's the process and the work of an actor in general, is you just have to be emotionally connected to the circumstances and be in whatever place you need to be and do
Yeah.
whatever you need to do to get there. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's there's not like, big like rock music or anything. It's just it's definitely just a quiet set and everyone's just like doing their work, but it's fun because you have the whole crew of people all there to make sure that this thing is as good as possible. And so
Yeah.
you feel that anticipation, that pressure, and those feelings just aid you in like, all right, I'm gonna get this done, and I'm gonna really go at it. So
Yeah. There was something you said in the podcast about, I don't know if you were pushed too hard or you pushed somebody, but there was something that happened and nobody knew. And you were just like, whoa, what was that? What was that scene about?
yeah, so during the fight scene, there's a moment where I swing over Robert and miss, and then we kind of separate, and then I come into him and he kicks me.
Mm.
And in one of the takes, I was either too far forward or his kick was too far forward or whatever, but he kicked me right in the chest where we had padding and there was like a protective plate and stuff, so it wasn't didn't hurt or anything.
Yeah.
But he hit me, and the force of it pushed me back so hard that I like fell on my butt.
Oh, no.
And then, but I stayed in character and stayed in the scene, and then jumped up real quick. And then you can
Yeah.
kind of see that just the very end of that where I'm jumping up, they used it in the final episode. So it was really cool.
That's,
It was such a cool moment.
you're like, good job. Good job on that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Are so as in those moments, are you more of like a method actor where they yell cut and you're trying to stay in the zone, you're trying to stay in character, or do you come out of it easily? Are you just like, I need something to drink, or I'm just going to hang out over here? What is that like for you? How is your acting method with that?
I can come out of it, yeah. Unless it's like a really heavily emotional scene,
Yeah.
it's pretty easy to slip in and out of Mr. X, because for me at least, connecting to him just feels like connecting to this part of me that gets to like enjoy and elate in doing all the bad things that our minds, like without consciousness or whatever, like would think of,
Yeah.
like just
Yeah.
being able to act on all the carnal things that we want to act on, or that we experience in our lives, but we don't really act on. And
Yeah.
so that I didn't really have to like come down or like have a lot of time outside of me. I just like it's easy for me to just slip into him if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I think it's a great thing. And I think a lot of actors say this about becoming the villain because that's not who you are. So the fact that you get to play a bad guy for a few hours a day, that's
Yeah.
but going back to kind of with Mr. X is that with our villains, because as a romance readers, we love the villains, we love the bad guy, but there's always like a really interesting backstory. Mr. X was created. He was
Hmm.
created to be this way. So I always found that very, very fascinating, especially when all of us romance readers, we love the villain and they love you. And there's more comments for you. Oh, someone was asking if you had like a Mr. X playlist and there were certain songs that you listened to get in the zone.
Um, Not particularly.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, it's like I know it might sound or seem like I'm making this big transformation, but it wasn't as hard for me as it looks like it should be.
Yeah.
So what like I didn't need like a pump up playlist. I didn't need a big process. It just had to connect to this part of me that wanted to act out all these things that I couldn't do as
Yeah.
a normal human being walking through life. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And it just goes to show every single one of you who was cast in this show was absolutely perfect for that role. So you were just meant to be Mr. X. So everybody has a story about meeting J.R. Ward, our creator, our leader. Do you when was the first time you met her and did you get to meet her in your costume, all dressed up as Mr. X?
I didn't actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
I wasn't working on any of the days that she was visiting set, unfortunately.
no
So
way.
yeah, so I didn't get to meet her in full costume as Mr. X. So the first time I got to meet her was in New York at the premiere.
No way, because Kellen, that's what, because Kellen was just on live. We did a live on Tuesday as well, and same with him. I find that very interesting. What was it? What was it like meeting her for the first time?
She's just such an incredible person. I
Yeah,
mean, it was so cool to because I've seen her on social media and I've seen
yeah,
videos of her with Tosca and stuff. And so just to see a person living so authentically
yeah,
and wanting others to live that and almost like giving other people permission to live like that. It's just like I always admire people who walk through life like that and it serves her and it serves her well. And yeah, I have a lot of admiration for her and she just seems like such a cool person.
that's I would love to meet her one day. One of my favorite things, of course, is when she got to meet the guys as the brothers, and when she met Robert as Wrath, and she screams, "Oh!" and she runs. That was
Yeah,
like the best thing I had ever seen in my life, and it was
yeah.
kind of like how I felt with this show. It was like I was not expecting to love it as much as I did. I love passion flicks. I'm a big fan. But watching it, I was just so I was like, oh, this is fantastic. I cannot believe what they have done. It's truly, truly special. And I just again, I'm gonna just praise you this whole episode or this whole live because you guys were fantastic. I was just gonna see if there's any more. So I really want to go into some of your scenes because you are in every single episode. You how many days were you on set filming for?
I think the final number of days was around 12, 13 or so.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Um, you have a lot of, I don't want to call them intimate scenes, but there are a lot of scenes with you and RJ, a lot of car scenes where it's just you and one on one, except when you're like speaking to your audience. But I think the diner, the restaurant scene between you and Billy Riddle, that scene is very interesting. And I would love to talk about that scene and how what it was like filming that particular scene.
yeah. Did you have any specific questions or just want
I
to talk about?
just, well, how long did it take to film that? Number one.
Um, that wasn't too bad. I think we got that done. with in the night, just a one day. But
Wow.
yeah, that scene, I I really enjoyed that scene. And I think it shows on camera too, because
Yes.
um, it's just like the final step that I get to take with him, and really luring him and making him believe that I'm going to be his savior, or I'm
Yeah.
his answer.
Yeah.
And yeah, it kind of, that was one of the most mixed Mr. X moments for me. And I really got to sit in who he was and enjoy every line of dialogue in that scene. It really was a special one for me. And again, just getting to sit next to RJ and watch him react off me was just such a pleasure, and always just fueled everything that I brought.
Yeah, because you two have a great on-screen chemistry, and the two of you like really he is your prey, and there's just something about you sitting, the way you even sit at that table and you just stare at him. And they're just the back and forth between the two of you. Like I thought that scene was so well played. What was it like working with RJ? I can't, I mean, you worked with him, I'm assuming the entire time because the majority of your scenes are with him. So what was it like working with him?
It was great. Yeah, because RJ and I actually knew each other before the shoot. I also
Mm.
I'm in my photography studio right now, and
Okay.
I had done headshots with him, so I'd known him before.
That's so
And
cool.
yeah, it was really great. And so yeah, so we had already had like a relationship before that. And he is just such a willing scene partner,
Mm.
and so open, and really wants to find the best thing he can. And so it was always such a pleasure to work with him. And again, I just, because how I could see how I was affecting him, um, how it was really affecting him. It was so
Mm.
it was so much fun to just
Yeah.
watch him squirm and watch him like be frightened or any of those things. Yeah, he was always such a giving scene partner, so it made my job easy.
So after a scene like that and they yell cut, were they like, Daryl, whoa, what the heck was that? That was crazy. That was amazing. I'm so scared.
I always loved hearing Tosca like, so creepy. Like, yeah, she would always give me that like that was so creepy. I loved it. It was so great.
Yeah.
And for me being me, I'm always like, okay, cool. That's awesome. Like, I'm glad I'm making you happy.
That's
So,
what I'm going for.
yeah, yeah. So it was really cool to, I think a moment like that was when I did the speech to the lessers
Yeah.
in that first episode. That, like, I had so much passion, and I had so much energy in it. And so there were moments of like people being like, that was good job, man, that was awesome. So
That's that's amazing. You know, you stand there in front of everybody telling that you just killed Darius, which how dare you? Like how rude. And
I
also, so
know.
my other favorite scene, which well, we'll talk, I loved. So you're standing outside the mansion in your Michael Myers get up. You literally look
Mm.
like Michael Myers standing there. Was that intentional or is that just a thing?
uh I I was not aware if it was intentional, but I think that's how it definitely is. That's how it's described in the book. But yeah, I
Mm,
don't know if costumes was like thinking along those lines, but like I love
yeah.
being in that comparison, in that world, because yeah,
Yes,
and
standing
so
there
much of
like
like, yeah,
waving.
so so much of the physicality that I found with him, because he had so much like martial arts experience, and because he had spent so many years as a lesser.
Yeah.
I just kind of found myself trying to connect to this idea that he's kind of like forgotten what it's like to be human.
Mm.
And so like if you can tell or if you can see it, like some of my movements almost feel like not robotic, but kind of like an android type thing. But
Mm-hmm.
like, as there's this idea of like that I was playing with was he kind of lost this the whole idea or the whole concept of how a human even interacts or how a human even like talks to someone
Yes.
or any of those things. And so
Yeah.
so much of his life has just been filled with this one purpose. And yeah, so it was really fun to play with that. And that was one of the biggest things for me was his physicality and how
Yeah.
I held myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Just sitting there waving. There, just the way that you like I said, sitting in that booth, or this way that you stand straight, or even walk. It's very intentional with the way. I don't want to call it robot-like, but that's just kind of like you said. He's lost. He's been doing one thing for so long, and it's
Mhm.
like that battle of trying to fit in, but you're never gonna fit in, and you're never.
Yeah.
So, because with the quotas, because the quota was 10 and they only got two, so we got to get
Yeah.
those quotas.
Yeah.
So you got to kidnap the king's wife, the queen. And so that scene I love when you're in the van and you're like, I got the queen. I love that scene. What was it like working with Olivia? I mean, you didn't get to do it very much, but what was it like working with Olivia?
Olivia is such a doll. Oh my God. Like
Yeah.
one of like the brightest lights on set consistently. Like,
Mm,
and her being the lead and having to be in work almost every day. Like, I don't know, for myself, if I was in her position, I would totally understand if you get like a little tired or you get a
sure.
little like
Yeah.
over it or whatever. But
Yeah.
she always had such an incredible outlook. She always was positive. She
Mm,
always like was quick to have a joke or say something nice. Like she was like such a wonderful person to work with. And yeah, I would do it again in a heartbeat because I really appreciated that about her because as the leads, they kind of their energy and how they move on set really does add to and not dictate, but like it really has an effect or influence on the rest of the set. And so
yeah.
I think she had that understanding and she really took it upon herself to be that light for everyone, and it really showed, and it really made an impact. So I
Yes.
can't say enough good things about her. She was such an incredible person to be on set, and she is so incredible in this series. Like
Yes.
I watching her scenes and watching the emotions that she's going through is just I was really impressed, and I feel very fortunate to have worked with her.
Yeah, she is. She's beautiful inside and out, and just the way that I mean, her and Robert's scenes together as Beth and Wrath are just intoxicating. And
Hmm.
and you can just tell everybody obviously had such good chemistry off screen that it carried on screen as well. And so you can tell that she's such a beautiful person. I got to talk to her, and she is our queen. And they could not have picked a better Beth, 100%.
Yeah,
The other scene that I absolutely loved was, I think it's episode 5, when Wrath has to take care of one thing before he gets married and he goes to get Billy Riddle. And
yeah,
Mr. X has picked him up, and Mr. X realizes that the myth is real. He's the blind king is in front of me because you have Wrath flying in the air. What was it
yeah.
like filming that scene?
That was great. I mean, to it's always, somewhat of a challenge to get genuine surprise or genuine fright or whatever. And
Yeah,
so it was just so much fun to be able to jump into that feeling and like especially seeing him like fly out of the trees. I mean, in the way we shot it, we didn't have him flying out and during the takes that I was in. But
mm,
but it really was any scene that I got to be in with Robert was just like it was really educational, and it was really like getting to see him work was a pleasure. I had a lot of good like a lot of good interactions and experiences with Robert, so it was
That's
fun.
that's great. We have more comments that I wanted to shout out. So Central BDB Brazil says hugs from Brazilian fans. Um, Everybody, it's so funny because the one word is creepy, but we love the creepy so much. So
Yeah.
you nailed that. Darrell made Mr. X come alive from the books. He did a great job. Hello, Mr. Creepy. I love it.
Yeah.
I think we should do Mick Creepy, like McDreamy. Um,
Yeah. That was my
the
favorite
others,
thing that came out of it. It was
yeah.
so great.
And then one more scene which I thought was fascinating was like the laser tag scene. So we
Oh
get
yeah.
Mr. X and Billy Riddle playing laser tag. What was that like filming?
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Because they had built this whole laser tag set. And so it was really cool. I felt like a little kid. It was so much fun
Yeah. Yeah.
to be in this circumstance playing laser tag and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I mean, especially with the black lights and stuff and the way my hair was and costume and everything, it was really
You
it was
just
cool. It was
you
cool to see that final product of how I looked in that scene for sure.
you were definitely glowing, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So a couple more scenes one big one was Billy Riddle's transformation. That scene
Hmm.
was very gruesome and graphic, and then you have Mr. X just standing there smiling. So let's talk about that scene and preparing for that scene. How long did that scene take to film, do you think?
They they got like I said, Passion Flicks had like such a good crew, and they really were able to get a lot of these like tough scenes and these like harder filming aspects done really efficiently. And
Yeah.
so yeah, that was just one of the scenes that took not even the night. I think that was just a part of one of the nights. But but yeah, being in the room while poor RJ has to just scream his lungs out was
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I felt bad for the guy, but he just committed so hard.
Yes.
Every take, every take he was just screaming at the top of his lungs, and I just was like, man, that's what it takes. That's what you got to do
A-
because
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, the barn was kind of like your place because there was another scene where you're just standing there over all of your tools after you
Hmm.
just offed somebody. So that seemed to be like your space, and I loved that the every almost all the barn scenes, well, all the barn scenes were including you, and there was something like gruesome about it. There's just something
Yeah,
being on scene. I can't even imagine all the fake blood, the fake vomit, all of those things. That must have been really fun to see
yeah,
to life.
it
I can't
was.
even
Yeah.
imagine. What was one of your favorite scenes to bring to life? Yeah, I would love to know that.
Let's see. I mean, I think it's what we already touched on. It was the that diner
The
scene
diner scene?
because yeah, because that diner scene, even looking back on it, I really feel that scene kind of embodied
Yeah,
Mr. X at like at his peak. And
yeah,
so it really did feel the most I felt like the most dropped in into this circumstance I think I did at any point.
yeah,
And so it felt really cool to watch in real time Billy like being ensnared in this idea.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I think that that was probably the most rewarding out of all of them for sure.
yeah. So Mr. X has some sort of power. He's able to control people with his mind, and he was able to control Billy Riddle in that one scene where he's like, "You're going to call your father, and you're going to do
Hmm.
this." So, what goes into that type of scene? How does that? I would love to get a look into. Okay, I'm going to control your mind. Let's do it. Like, what goes into that type of scene?
I think it for me. it was more of like a shift in tone
Mm,
of maybe instead of coming off just as like, just a friendly older uh person
mm,
that's in your life, but like now it's more of a whisper, like a soft seduction and a feeling of almost like hypnosis. Like it to me in that
yeah.
moment, it wasn't like I wanted to think of the the physical manifestation of this power. I wanted to almost treat it like, oh, I'm hypnotizing him in this moment. And through my soft cadence and my voice, I'm just going to like lull him into this state where I can do whatever I want.
Yeah. That's fascinating. I love it. I love what goes into filmmaking. And I really love, because you kind of touched on this with the restaurant scene. Passion Flicks does such a good job with allowing scenes to breathe, very organic. You really have to let the scene play out because they're building something. So I really, really love these stretch of scenes where we're just living in the scene with them. And I felt
Mhm.
like every single time you're speaking or every single time you're on the screen, we're like zoned in. We don't want to be zoned in, but we're zoned in and almost lulled kind of into a trance. I like
Yeah.
that. That's very, I like that. My favorite scene was when Mr. X compelled Billy. So there we go. Um, anymore. I think all girls already want to be your Mrs. X. Okay. So was there, okay, so I know things were very professional on set. I mean, everybody's there for a job, but of course there's bloopers. Of course there's going to be something that happens on set. So is there something on set that happened that was funny or something you're like, oh my gosh, this was so memorable, or just something fun when you while you were filming?
Yeah. I mean, one of them was when I got kicked and fell down.
Oh yeah.
That was definitely a memorable one. Um, yeah, I think one of the like craziest things to me is having a stunt double and like watching this
Mm,
guy be me
yeah,
and yeah, seeing seeing this other version of me was just so crazy to me. Trying to think of something that was really funny that happened on set. Oh, so during one of the because all of this like a lot of it had to be shot at night because most of it occurs at night.
yeah,
So during these night shoots, you get there at like 5 p.m. and then you're there till like 3, 4 in the morning sometimes.
yeah,
And um, I had done most of my scenes earlier in the night. And then so I went in my trailer and they said they were going to need me later on. So I'm laying there, and just like listening to my books or doing whatever.
yeah,
And I fell asleep for a little bit because it's getting pretty late and
sure,
it'd been a few days of these night shoots.
yeah,
And I get woken up and they're like, "Hey, we just need you to come in and do this quick little shot, one part of the fight scene." And I'm like, okay, all right, let me get it. I'm just gonna wake up here. And so
let me get a Red Bull.
yeah. So I walk over to set and like, okay, so you're gonna block this punch and then you're gonna do this uppercut and then you're gonna dodge this. And I'm like, okay, let me wake up. Let me just like get my bearing. It was just crazy because like
Yeah,
you have to like immediately be able to just get yourself into this moment
yeah,
and yeah, it was definitely like a wake up call
yeah.
on in more ways than one on how you just have to be able to jump into whatever you need to do like in an instant.
That I would have needed a coffee or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's what you want me to do. Okay, I'll be right there. That's
Yeah.
so now that again the series is out, it's fantastic. It has done so incredibly well. Season 2 is greenlit. I don't know when filming is going to start, but everybody is so excited. Have you started reading book 2? Have you started preparing for season 2?
Uh, I've read actually my mom went through and read all like the first 4 books. And so she
That's
gave me the breakdown.
fabulous.
Yeah, she was super excited when I booked it, and she wanted to read them all. And so she's
Oh
a
my
big reader
gosh.
anyways. And so yeah,
Uh,
she went through and read them and stuff. And so she gave me a breakdown. And
uh,
I've gotten like the outline. I've looked up the outline and stuff. I haven't read the second book yet, but
okay.
I'm excited to. Yeah, I'm definitely
Yeah.
once everything gears up, like I'm really looking forward to like delving back into
I love that your mom read the books. That's
it.
hilarious.
Yeah,
It's like with Gene, who plays Fritz. His wife had read all of the books, and she was such a huge fan, and she knew who he was playing before he even knew who he was
yeah.
playing. I love that so much. Oh my God. Well, I think that again, you did such an incredible job. I appreciate you taking the time and talking to me today. We got all the fans just dying to hear from you. And I would love to know just on one last parting question, just what has this experience meant to you going through all of this? What has it meant to you?
It's meant a lot. It really has. It's definitely one of the biggest opportunities that I've ever had. And so, and such a departure from anything else I've ever done. I've never played a villain. I've never played any
Mm,
kind of like malicious bad guy at all.
yeah,
And so, um, it really to be entrusted, with such a important role in this series and to have the response that I've had from it, it really has, given me a lot of faith in myself and faith in the industry or and the work that I do.
yeah,
Because yeah, it's hard as actors, like we book something here or there, and the role might be like just a little piece here, a little piece there, and you don't really get fans reaching out. You don't really get like
sure,
any of this kind of stuff. So
sure.
all of this response and everything that I've experienced so far with it has just been such like a surreal and an incredible thing. And I can't thank everyone enough. I can't thank Tosca and JR and everyone enough because it really truly has been such a like the best experience that I've had as an actor so far.
I love,
And
yeah.
yeah, I'm really grateful for it.
Well, it just, again, it shows because every single person cast in this show is absolutely perfect for the role. So I'm so glad that you were cast. And I looked down at my notes, so I'm like, no, there's something that I wanted to talk about. I love the fact that you are a photographer, number one, but you own rabbits. I love that you are like
Yeah.
this rabbit and do you have dogs as well? You're an animal
Yeah,
lover.
I do. I got two little dogs.
Something
Yeah.
we didn't know about Mr. X. He's an animal lover. Is there something that people don't know about you that you would love people to know about?
Um, hmm,
Besides your
is there
your rabbit love,
my rabbit love? Um, I am
or be
also a big,
surprised.
yeah, I'm also a big like book lover, kind of nerdy,
Love
like
it.
fantasy lover.
Love it.
I I've been listening to I listen to a lot of my books just because when I'm editing or when I'm working or when I'm just walking around my day to day, I'll just put it on and listen to it.
Yeah.
And so I've been listening to this author, Brandon Sanderson, who Kellen, by the way, it's so crazy. A mutual friend of ours, we were at a wedding and he recommended these books, and they're just like ever since I've been so hooked on this author and so diving into this world
That's
so
awesome.
so deeply. And
You
yeah,
said
so
Brandon? Brandon.
Brandon Sanderson, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he writes like pretty epic fantasies, and they're just like big kind of like Lord of the Rings types books, and they're
Ah,
really they're great, but they also include like a lot of like personal growth in the characters and people dealing with depression and getting through it
yeah.
and all kinds of different like personal struggles that are very human, but also like match this fantasy world that I just like
Mm,
I can't get enough of it. So
yeah. I love fantasy. I'm actually, hold on, I gotta show you. So, Josh Plassey, who is part of the Passion Flicks family, I'm going to plug his book, Dust. He just came out with this book, and it's like Dune meets almost Guardians of the Galaxy. It's really,
Oh,
really good.
cool.
So
That's awesome.
I got to plug that for him.
Yeah.
There's okay. So one more question right before you go. Where did it go? Where did it go? Okay, everyone would like to know if you could choose another character from the series to be to or to play, who would you be?
That's a good question. Um, I think I would I would think I would like to play Zadist. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, I like
just
that.
to play with the amount of like turmoil and trials and
Yeah.
all the stuff that he's gone through,
Yes.
um, would be would be really fun. I don't know. I am
Yeah.
morbidly like attracted to the like heavy emotional
Yes.
parts of acting. So like
Hey,
I think it would be really fun to work from that place and see where that would take me. Yeah, I think that would be really really cool.
I love that, and I think the fans are gonna love that answer as well. Well, I thank you again so much for your time and for this Instagram live. It was truly an honor to talk to you, and good luck with season two. Thank you for being our Mr. X because you nailed it. Creepy Mick, Mr. X.
It's really my pleasure, and thank you so much for having me. It's been so much fun to talk to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And thank you everyone for watching and sending in your questions and appreciate you. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. See you next
Bye.
time. Bye.